Good evening, dear Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
I welcome you all for the 873rd meeting of the Chennai Toastmaster Club. The mission of Chennai Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before moving into meeting, I would like to brief certain rules to be followed. Please make sure that your mobile phones are in a silent mode. Can you take few seconds and make sure it is? And while you speak, please make sure that you are not talking about three topics, which is politics, sex, and religion. Those who attend online meeting, you please sit in a silent atmosphere for a better meeting experience. And if you want to communicate anything, you please share to me. Those who attend online, please use the chat box. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to the proceeding officer, Toastmaster Naveen. Toastmaster Naveen is electrical engineer by qualification and quality engineer by profession. He is our current president, and I welcome Toastmaster Naveen.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. And I would like to open the meeting number 873 of Chennai Toastmasters Club. And I would like to recognize the presence of our immediate past district director, Toastmaster Satish Manager, and chartered members, distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Beccaria sir, and distinguished Toastmaster Nina Jan. With this, we are further moving to introduce the Toastmaster of the day. So I have no words to introduce our Toastmaster of the day because already our Sergeant Arms introduced a very well warm greetings with Toastmaster of the day because it is myself who is going to be the Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting. So for the benefit of the guests, a Toastmaster meeting is basically a set of prepared speech segment and table topic segment and continued by evaluation segment. And today we have additionally educational session who is going conducted by our Toastmaster Satish Menon. So basically a prepared speech segment is where the members will have to prepare their speeches and they are going to deliver their speeches right now and the speeches will be evaluated by the evaluation segment. So without further delay, I'm going to introduce the general evaluator for today's meeting. Who is joining through online. So the stage is yours, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Naveen. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. I am the General Evaluator for today, and as mentioned by Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Naveen, that we need to be evaluated each and every day for the betterment of the club and each and everyone's personal growth for their professional and communication skills. So, for the benefit of the guests, my role is to evaluate the meeting as a whole. For that, I have two teams who will be helping me with it. The first team is the tag team, and the second team is the evaluation team. The tag team is Timer, R Counter, and Grammar. So, Timer is played by Toastmaster Manoj Kumar today. He works for the Hindu publications as a product manager in their digital media department. He has been a Toastmaster since 2019 and he has recently joined CTM. I request Toastmaster Manoj to explain his responsibilities and what he'll do as a timer. Over to you, Toastmaster Manoj.
I wasted 10 seconds of your time.
is yes. Let's not do that. Because time is very important for us. It's not about the leadership and public sector skills, but it's also interest to follow that. Management is the key. So today I'm here as a timer to evaluate the session. List of guests and also the reminder of fellow Toastmasters. As a timer, I will time the topic speakers, formal speakers, and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they are there. You see the green light that you see on the top, and yellow and the red. Today we have two kinds of speeches. One is going to be a table topic, for which at 1 minute I will raise the green light. At 1.5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I will raise the red light. And regarding the prepared speeches, all the 4 speeches is going to be the icebreaker. So the timing is going to be between 4 to 6 minutes of length. At 4 minutes, the green light will blink, and at 5 minutes, the yellow light will blink. At 6 minutes, the red will blink, otherwise the red light will blink. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. I request Toastmaster Palanisamy, since he is playing both the roles of accountant and grammarian. I would request him to explain his responsibilities. Over to you.
Yeah, good evening once again. I'll be playing accountant as well as grammarian. The role of accountant is to note down filler words used by the speakers. Filler words like so and you know, then also unnecessary pauses used by the speakers. So this will help the speaker to become aware how many filler words they are using and prepare their future speeches without using the filler words. As a grammarian, I'll be noting down the correct as well as incorrect usages, and I will present the report at the end of the meeting. As a grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is insist. Meaning is to say strongly. Example, as a senior Toastmasters, it is our responsibility to insist new members to attend the meeting regularly. But despite being insisted several times, few are not coming to the meetings and taking up roles. So again, I use this word of the day to use the word of the day, and I insist the new members to come regularly and have the benefits. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palanisamy. And there is another team who will be helping me with the evaluation of the speeches. However, I will be introducing them at the later part of the meeting. And also, I will submit my evaluation when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day at the end of the session. Thank you. And I hand over the session to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Naveen.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Shruti, for clearly explaining the General Evaluation segment. And with this, we came to the starting part of our prepared speech segment. So first, I would like to call Toastmaster Rohit. And before Toastmaster handing the stage to Toastmaster Rohit, I would like to welcome his evaluator Toastmaster Rekha to read out his project objectives.
Yeah, good evening all. Today my target speaker is Toastmaster Rohit, and he's going to break the ice, which is the first speech in his project. And the project objective, so every speech has an objective. So this speech objective is for Rohit to introduce himself to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. And his timing is 4 to 6 minutes. The speech title, if you are going through hell, keep going. So all the best, Toastmaster Rohit, back to you.
Toastmaster Rohit is working as a software developer, and he would like to improve his leadership and public speaking skills, and his hobbies are reading books, painting, and gymming. The stage is yours, Toastmaster Rohit. If you are going through, then keep going. If you are going through, must run.
I was born to live my life on my own terms, but my so-called relatives and well-wishers ruined my childhood. I was so hyperactive as a kid. Maybe that's the reason why everyone hated me. I was certainly not appreciated for what I did well or for what I did better than others, but I was constantly gaslighted for what others did better than me. I was constantly bullied for merely existing on this planet. I expected my parents to have my back, and then I realized it all happened right in front of their eyes, and they still did nothing about it. And later I understood they had absolutely no idea as to what I was subjected to. This left me dealing with unsurmountable and excruciating pain. This took its toll on me. My career as a cricketer was in the doldrums. My academics got into a tailspin, and as a result, my parents' resentment towards me skyrocketed. I felt as if I was left to fend for myself. I constantly doubted myself every single day. I questioned my existence every single minute of my life. All I expected from my parents was sit me down and ask me that question. What's wrong with you, son? And trust me, that never happened, even to this day. I had nowhere to go. I had no one to look up to. My world was falling apart. And after a point, I asked myself, am I born to fail? No, you're not. Give yourself a few more years and start looking people in the goddamn eye. Came an answer from the brat in me. In this context, brat refers to born, raised, and transformed. Yes, I listened to the brat in me. And I did nothing extraordinary after that. I just started hitting the gym. I developed a physique that everyone feared, and that gave me immense confidence. That changed my overall personality, and most importantly, my attitude. It was 2011 already, and I had just passed out of college. And most importantly, I had started to take all the problems head on. I had just passed out of college and landed a job, but apart from playing cricket, I always dreamt of joining the Indian Army. I always dreamt of becoming an army officer, but it never happened. I failed, not once, not twice, but 12 times. I was totally devastated. I was completely gutted, and I finally gave up eventually. And later, I wanted to pursue my master's in the US. That did not materialize either. And a few years later, I, alongside a few friends of mine, wanted to start our own firm. And suddenly, all my friends developed cold feet at the 11th hour and backed out. And to make matters even worse, my H-1B visa was rejected twice, 2 consecutive years. Failure after failure. Nothing was going as per my plan. Nothing was falling in place. Everything was topsy-turvy, but I was high on hope. I was full of enthusiasm and confidence. Months passed, and one fine day, as I was having a random conversation with a very good friend of mine, he referred to a quote from one of the Holy Scriptures. Out of nowhere, this happened out of the blue. He insisted that I do my duty with utmost perfection, commitment, dedication, and honesty. And that moment, I realized it was my moment of self-realization. That changed my life forever, and I did not look back after that. I started focusing on my job, and suddenly I realized it seemed the world to me. I took my job more seriously, and then I realized that is one thing that has been giving me my daily bread and butter for years now. I started focusing on my job. I imparted knowledge to others. I took up a lot more responsibilities at work. I switched jobs and got to a better position than those I was compared with long ago. Today, I'm a better person in a better position, and those who criticize me have their tails between their legs. So that's the best part about my life. So life hits everyone hard. Life hits everyone like a storm. And you got to be very casual and look life in the eye and say, I am the storm, and keep working hard. So we are living in a world where only the powerful and the brave are respected. Hence, to be brave and powerful is absolutely necessary. But to not be brave and powerful is absolutely fatal. Thank you so much. Happy Easter to everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit, for the wonderful icebreaker speech. Now it's time to hand over the stage to our second icebreaker speaker, Toastmaster Sankari. So I would like to call Toastmaster Sarath to read out her project objectives. Things I love the most, Toastmaster Sankari. Things I love the most, Toastmaster Sankari.
Hello, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Sankari, and this is my icebreaker speech. When I was writing my script for my speech, I asked my mom, Mom, can you tell me some of my childhood stories which I can use for my speech? Immediately, she said n number of stories, out of which one I feel very much connected to. When I was a kid, 3 years old, there comes a man from my neighborhood. He is my uncle. He approached me and asked, My dear, you're looking very happy today. What did you have for your lunch? I was very much excited. I said, Uncle, I had 10 different dishes prepared by 10 different people in my family. Everything was delicious and I was full and happy. Immediately he asked, Can you give me some? Go and ask from your mother. I don't like his question. Then what I will do for my dinner? I don't want to give him the food. Immediately I said, You know what? There's a tradition in our family that we all share food with others. And we also always cook food according to our needs. So everything is over. Even my mom washed all the vessels and put it upside down. So there is nothing left. I can't give you anything, uncle. I put this puppy face on my on me and I said. So he was dumbstruck with my answer. From that day till today, though I was not that stingy, I was not stingy when it comes to food. Food is something which I love the most. Each and every moment of my life, happiness, sadness, excitedness, all these things are highly associated with food. Whenever I'm happy, it is the one food I used to take first. When I am sad, he is the one who accompanies me first. Food is something which I love the most. It is a part of my emotion. I use food as a means of conveying whatever I felt, either by cooking or by eating. More than food, I love my family. I was born and brought up in Chennai and I belong to a joint family. My family comprises of two elder brother, two younger brother, mom, dad, uncles, grandparents, and a pet. It is a huge family. The more interesting thing is, I'm the only girl child in my entire family. That's it. That's an awesome news for me. I was very blessed. I was provided with everything that I needed. I was loved, cared, respected, and treated all the way that I expected as a child. This gave me a sense of self confidence and self esteem. My parents thought how I should love myself. So the thing is, I love myself more than anything in this world. How many of you watched Bahubali? I hope everyone. There will be a conversation between this Rajamata and Bahubali. He need to either pick the throne or else he need to pick Devasena. He will be picking Devasena. It is not only because he loves her, it is also because it was his mom who thought in his childhood days that he need to keep his words to the people whom he promised, and he needs to trust the people wholeheartedly, whomever comes without thinking twice. So now he think about all those moments and he hold Devasena's hand, and this was misunderstood by Rajamata. The end of the story, he was thrown out of the palace. Why did I say this story? Because the same happened with me. For God's sake, my parents didn't throw me out of the house. That is different. But I felt too distant from them. They are the one who taught me how I should love myself. They are the one who taught me how I should stand for myself. But the problem here is they asked me to pick a career which I was not at all interested at. I want Devasena, but they offered me throne. what I'm going to do with the throne. MBBS, being a doctor, it is something like which I'm not at all suitable for. But they forced me to get into that position. But I want to become a psychologist. It is not a decision that I made within a day. It is not something which arose out of blue. It is something which took wholly 1 year of my life. I made the decision, but they didn't respect it, which hurted me the most. Do you know what is the hardest thing in everyone's life? It is standing against our loved ones. And I did that. I did wholly 3 months against my parents in order to pursue my career. And finally, I am pursuing my third year in psychology today. I love my parents, I love myself, I love food, and with my obstacle, you can understood how I committed to my profession. Out of all this, I wish to say that I love each and every moment of my life. I lead how I lead it and how I live it. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful story by Toastmaster Sankari. And now it's time to hand over the stage to our third icebreaker speech, Toastmaster Vishal. So, why I joined Toastmasters? Toastmaster Vishal. Why I joined Toastmasters? Toastmaster Vishal. My heart is pumping right now. Ah, I'm just taking it next. My name is Vishal. I'm currently working as a sales development representative in a company called Econ Systems. If you're regular to these sessions, you would have probably noticed me not taking any table topics that have ever happened here. That is a different story, but I just want to start with one another. A long ago, say from my first standard, I used to always enroll for these dance classes, these dramas, for all our the annual day that happens every year in our college, I mean school. So these dances and dramas, I still remember. I've been dancing folk dances, traditional dances, modern dances. Even I've also danced one of the Michael Jackson song. And I also remember me being taking the role of Kanakapillai, whose sole job is to stand by the king. And the king asks, okay, so there is this dispute and we have to solve this. Okay, so how much will it happen? Like, let's say 3 plus 4. My role is to say, sir, it is 10. And the king said me like, okay, like, oh, okay, 10. So he takes my input, and my sole job is to give wrong answers for all the mathematics that is going to happen. And I also remember another role, where my role is to fight Veerapandi Kattam. Okay, I was a goon. I was one of the goons. There were 3 goons, and I'm not sure whether this is in movies, but this actually happened in real life. We were all given a cardboard swords. So the Kattabomman was given a plastic sword, which was sharp, and we were like, okay, ready to fight. But before that, Kattabomman was like, okay, he was giving long speech, and we were like standing, okay, when are we going to fight? Like this. And then he saw his sword, and then my sword got cut. I was like standing here, okay, what should I do next? And then I was like, okay, next. And it was played by women. And she was totally into her character. And she was like, yeah, I'm the cut woman right now, and I'm going to kill you. And with that power, and she was like swinging her sword like this, like that. And we got totally bruised. We actually got blood in our hands and bodies. And we were supposed to fall on a mount, sand mount, and we were somersaulting falling on his mouth. It was really a great experience. I really enjoyed being there. Like these, I took many dance classes, dramas, all these enjoyable classes. After that, like let's say fourth or third or fourth standard of my life,
usually the class representative or the school representative comes to all the classes, and they'll take notes for every sessions, like let's say drama, dance, everything. And we were all excited. We were shouting for write my name, write my name, write my name. And people were saying, Vishal, let's go for dance. Yes, okay, right. Vishal, let's go for drama. Yes, okay. We'll go for drama. We'll go for dance. And, yeah, that's right. And after that, a little bit later, the rep told, okay, the name is full for all these things. We were surprised. The class totally got silent. The teacher was there. First, she was standing there. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't control the crowd. But then after that, she was like smiling. I'll give your names. What are you going to give your names for? They were like boring things, speeches. The thing I always choose these drama and dances is because one, I really enjoy doing that. Two, to bunk my classes. I always wanted to bunk my classes anytime. Like let's say people ask the students to pick up some benches, ma'am, and we are asking us for some job, and I have to go. And we are a group that always go out and try to bunk all the classes. Now, the only option that I got left is to choose speech and to bunk classes, or to not choose speech and to stay in class. I was thinking, okay, so if I do not choose, means the rep will go to another class. And I was like, I was like insisting myself, okay, we should go, we should go, we should go. And then I finally gave my name, and then there was my crush. The whole class was silent. The class were like, oh, Vishal, wow, wow, nice speech, wow, very great. My crush was like, Vishal, nice. And then like, okay. And after that, I didn't know what speech was. I know that speaking to my peers is always enjoying, and I can talk for hours. But I haven't experienced standing in front of thousands of people, thousands of students, and standing alone. Because dance and drama, you perform with your colleagues, but for speech, you have to stand alone and you have to speak. Both are like totally different. But I didn't know. I was like, it's like a cup of tea. I can always do this. Then I practiced it. I told my parents. My parents were excited. My parents told me, "Hey, that's great. What is your topic?" I said, "I have to talk about any freedom fighters." They told me, "Hey, that's great. We'll pick something that is so more effective and so more easy for you." Okay, that's great. Okay, what shall we do? I said, "Okay, Mahatma Gandhi." All right, cool. Mahatma Gandhi. I've practiced day and night. But then there is one catch that I was not bunking any classes, because for speeches you have to prepare in home, home only. So I was like, no, a day and night in my home. I was preparing for my speeches, and then at the speech day came. Before a few days, only I got to know that I was also supposed to dress up like the freedom fighter that I was supposed to. It was winter, and I was only supposed to wear a dhoti and no chappals, no shirt, and a glass. That's it. So my parents were preparing me for that exact speech. I was thinking, okay, what should I do next? I was like confident before that, but when I was on the stage, it was cold. I was shivering, and then my mom searched for all the glasses in my home, because I have to have a glass to look like Gandhi, and she had an old prescribed glass, and she gave me that, and I was wearing it. Before that, I didn't know. I was not preparing with the glasses. I was not wearing only the dhoti when I was preparing my home. The day came, I was standing in the stage. I started to give my speech. I couldn't see the crowd because of the power glasses. That is one. And the second thing is, I was shivering. I couldn't speak. I cannot talk anything at all. I started speaking. To myself, Not to take your chance and explore so that you learn new things with the things that you can learn about yourself as well. With this, I'd like to finish my speech and thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal, for the wonderful dramatic speech. And now it's time to hand over the stage to our fourth speaker of Toastmaster Leander. So, finding my purpose, Toastmaster Leander, finding my purpose.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guest. I am Leander. I'm going to talk about topic is called like finding my purpose. I remember when I was in school, 12th standard. That time, actually, I had from childhood, I had a very bad what is the fear of stage, like no stage speaking in front of a crowd. That was my worst fear. So what happened? I tried to like escape my school seminars and all. Even they put fail for me. I don't care. I'm like no, you know, put whatever marks you want. Then what happened? Finally, I reached 12th standard, and they gave me like a job to do as a from this like sports management, a sports day. No, we had a management team, and they put me head of it. And I told my principal, see, I'm not going to do any speech. I don't care about this whatever responsibility you're giving me. But like I insisted him, don't give me any speech, and I'll do my duties, any other duties. Then he said, okay, don't worry, I'll take care of all that, and you do your duties. Then one day happened that on sports day, that is 2 days before we have a rehearsal. That rehearsal, my ma'am had a script. You have to like to introduce the like open the entire sports day, the sports days theme. So what happened? Uh, no one else was able to take up that speech. All of us said, I'm not going to talk in front of stage. So then I had to do it. No other go. So my ma'am was just take the paper. We are going to do it. Okay, now I can't tell my juniors to do it, so I had to do it somehow. And that morning she gave me the paper, and afternoon was the practice. So I thought, okay, maybe okay, whatever I read, I won't look at the crowd. I'll just look at the paper, read, and finish my speech. Then usually we had a march past the day, and finally all the school children were sitting down, and they called my name to open the ceremony. So that was just trial day. So okay, what for trial mean? So I took the paper, ma'am gave me the mic in the hand, and I read the first 2 lines. Then I looked up. There was around 2,500 students, and I just freezed. I couldn't even move my body. My legs started shaking, my hands started shaking, and I was about like what to say, go blank out. My ma'am from like no, she was standing here, and she was scared. My God, uh, God bless him. Somehow let him finish it. It's like no, but okay, I had some confidence. So I started reading the third line, and my worst nightmare came. I started fumbling, even though I was just seeing and reading, but it was just gibberish. My words were like jumbled up, like I was just frozen. I somehow finished the speech. Then I thought, okay, this is the most embarrassing moment of my life. Then to finish my school is going to be another 10 more months. I know how can I face my whole school, not my class. My whole school, 17 years, 15 years of my school life, standing there. And I finished my speech. Then I came. Next day, didn't want to go actually. Okay, then I somehow managed to go the next day. Then actually I found out nobody cared. They didn't remember what happened. No, I was shocked. Like I thought people will come and ask me like what happened, like why you did you fumble? Nobody cared. They just came, they did their own work, and the day was done. Then I realized people actually they don't even think of us. We only are so like so scared of others, but actually they don't see us. So then I thought, okay, never mind, but this will be my last speech. I'm never going to stand in front of an audience ever, even if they give me any amount of money, I'm not going to stand in front of a crowd. Then I decided like no, okay. Uh, the next stage of my life came. Then the time was 21. I joined a good company, a good job. Then I was like, "Oh, what is for me?" I started doing a job. They gave me payment. I don't know what like, where's my life going? So what's my purpose? Why am I living? Then I realized, okay, let me take a break. It has just been 6 months since I joined. So okay, let me leave my job and see what's going on. Let me go talk to people, explore, maybe we'll travel a little bit. Then actually it was 2019 March 15th. I left my job. I thought, okay, I can go travel. It's going to be so nice. Let me live my life. And March 26th, pandemic came. So after that, I had to sit at home doing nothing. Then one day, okay, I have to find my purpose somehow. I have to live this life. So I started cleaning my house. Then I found a book which my uncle gifted around 2 years back for my birthday. 2 years back. That was in 16, 17 something. Then the book was called The Secret. It spoke about manifestation. So that was actually like a breakthrough for my life because I never had read a book in my life till then. It gave me a sense of focus, like manifestation, positive thinking. Then ask the universe, help me find my purpose. Then next I actually uh, found a book called Richest Man in Babylon. That actually gave me such an idea as to how to go forward with my life, how finance work, how businesses work. So then I was thinking, okay, this is the concept. How can I move forward? Then I manifested. Okay, universe, give me a pathway. How can I move forward from here? Then through manifestation, I found a job which gave me how to run a business, how to talk to people. Now actually I'm in sales now, sales and shipping logistics. Now actually I talk to people, how to move with them, and it actually taught me a lot. And through this job, to get this job itself is through manifestation. So moving forward, I would like to conclude my speech. So my value, my purpose in my life is to provide more value to the society, provide more value to the people, and through that, whatever value we provide, we will get rewards, through that, and invest those rewards in a long-term period, and help others also to find their purpose and teach them also on how to invest. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Leander, for the wonderful icebreaker speech, and I would like to congratulate all the icebreaker speakers, Toastmaster Rohit. And now it's time to hand over the stage to our educational speaker, our immediate past district director, Toastmaster Sadish Menon sir. He is a co-founder of Third World Solution Private Limited and an IT solutions and service organization established in 1995. He has been a Toastmaster since 2013 and has risen up the ranks from a club level to area, division, and district. Has been a star area director and president distinguished division director. Has been the conference co-chair for Operation 2017 and co-conference for Ovation 2019, and I was the club growth director of District 82 in 19 to 20, and the program quality director of District 120 from 20 to 21, and the district director for District 120 last year. And Sadiq sir loves to travel to two new places every year, collect and read books on every possible topic, and an avid collector of miniature aircraft models.
Now, you I was going to talk about the job interviews or interviews that they give. Personally, I only attended 3 interviews as far as going and getting a job is concerned. The only interview I was told I got selected because they found the only thing in me which was good was confidence. That was 32 years back, just out of college. Second interview I attended, the interviewer said, confidence was number one. Number two, even I shared the same love for music. He was a great fan of a group called Jethro, which I had also. And both of us love to read books of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Confidence, music, books. The interview I attended was purely about it because of my technical skills. Because that is what they were looking for at that point of time, and I was one of very few that kind of skill at that point of time. A fourth interview, I never attended. During that, I founded our own IT company, or co-founded. So 3 interviews I attended, but over a period of time, a lot of people who are interviewed, I've seen people getting interviewed. I think the government given interviews not for the purpose of selling a product or selling a solution. Also, selling an interview. Only thing is, they don't go to yourself. To some extent, but most of the time, you have to kind of promote a product or a service that you are selling. It's different, but what I can see in all of them, what you are promoting is your brand. When I go for job interview, when a person interviews you, when a person considers me for a job position, it's about something in me. That's why there is a job called coordinator. So that's a brand of yours which you are going to try and protect it. And everybody understands when you go for an interview, you are not the only person. There are so many others who are also vying for the same position. So you promote your brand very well. Some people think that doing things technically is very good. If I'm technically very good, they will select me. Well, in some cases, yes, but in most cases, no. Some people think if I have very good grades, I automatically get selected. Having very good grades is good. It gives you an advantage compared to the others, but that's not the only selection criteria. A lot of things that you need to do before the interview, or during the interview starts before the interview. Let's talk about when you plan. In today's world, 33 years back when I was doing my interview, there was no social media. There was no internet also, by the way. Yeah. So whatever you wrote on your biodata and you presented to the interviewer, that was looked upon, and then they said, okay, let's ask you questions based on that. Today's world is totally different. Today, with the advent of social media, a lot of people actually know a lot about you before you turn up for the interview. This is like what they call the police or intelligence. So they've actually prepared a dossier on you before you go for an interview. And that's where all of us need to be aware of that. How we present ourselves to the outside world. It's not to the intent of getting a job. Overall, but you never know where you need to go and apply for the position somewhere. When you are looking to switch jobs and go to a position for responsibility. One of the first things that we can actually do on an ongoing basis, if you want to really stay there, is give yourself a LinkedIn, or those of you who are not on LinkedIn, start getting on LinkedIn as soon as possible. Keep your LinkedIn profile updated. I see a lot of profiles when I was interviewing people. The company was very, very daughter. You didn't see anything there. Just a photo. Some people don't even have a photo. Keep your LinkedIn profile updated. There's a lot that you can actually promote yourself using LinkedIn. Put in your educational qualifications there, put in your work experience there. For every engagement that you work, go and ask people to do your work, to give you a reference. These certifications that you do, put that up on LinkedIn. Keep it relevant. Even Toastmaster certifications that you do. You can put them on LinkedIn. Then you've got relevant topics. You can posted finished courses. Because sometimes if you are not done it, the Toastmasters logo actually comes in there if you kind of think it. If you are getting a president of the club, go put the president of I was a VP or a VP of Senate was because what you do getting there, the club itself. One thing is so important is when you go there, people look up your profile. They actually come to know a lot about you. And they look up your references. If they really want to hire you, they can call up the reference and find out. Are you really what you are projecting there? Or sometimes you know a reference might be a common thread to the interviewer. Right? So that makes the job much more easier. So always keep your profile updated. So I think LinkedIn, not Facebook or Instagram. Okay? Because most professional people go to LinkedIn to check. They don't go to Facebook and Instagram. And if you have personal side, looking into something is highly. You could have your what you want to post there, unless it's not, it's like decent or something, people might kind of, they occasionally, but otherwise they can travel what you eat, what you like. This is personal side. Professional side, all LinkedIn. I think when you go to the interview, one of the first things you should keep in mind is you are the director of your story. Everybody else is just an actor in the whole story, including the interviewers, everybody. Why I'm saying you are the director is when you are applying for a job, you are deciding that I need to go and apply for that position. When you send your profile to a organization, you are pretty much deciding what you want to write on that position. People are going to interview you based on what you have written there. Nobody is going to ask you out of syllabus questions. Some interviewers might ask because they want to test your ability on that, but don't fall for it. We'll talk about it later. But people generally will ask you based on what you have written in your profile. So effectively, you are the director, you are the script writer of your own movie. Everybody is only an actor. Keep that script very clean. Keep that script clean. Don't clutter your resume too much. Write what you want to clearly write. Educational qualifications clear. If you have achieved something, put that very clearly. In your work profile, don't go and praise yourself too much, saying that I did this, I did that, and all that. That can be easily found out if that is wrong. 2 questions, and if you can't answer, then figure out that all that you have written is not correct. So might be very, very truthful what you have done. Even if you have been a very average performer, fair, put it there. Not everybody is looking for a star. If an organization has an all-star team, they will be a very unsuccessful organization. Where everybody will think I'm the leader. A lot of organizations need people who are workers, who can work as a team. They don't need an all-star team. If you have been an average person, average performance, just put it. Just what I did. Maybe some things you felt that you did well, put it there. Not more than 2 to 3 words. A resume should not be more than 2 pages anyway. Because these two are 2 or 3 paragraphs, they will know who you are. Some information is available from the ecosystem or the world wide web. They can always go. But when the script is given to the interviewer, the questions that is given to you should be the ones that you are expecting that it should come in. Not that somebody is dictating and you are supposed to answer. When I gave my 3rd interview, technical part, I was one of the very few people in that time in India
who knew an ERP product very well. So I could tailor that story very well and say, this is what I've done. My place an interviewer had better experience on the product than I had. They were supposed to ask me questions how you go about implementing the product. So from a technical point, the entire thing went to a more general kind of thing. And then when I was clear about what it could be done, to kind of feel the great thing of this is the person that you want to have. I didn't put very great things on my profile saying, I did this or one time. I basically put what I did. That's it. So that's very, very important. Just be truthful in that particular sheet of paper. So when they ask you a question, questions come as and when you want it to come. Now when you go to the interview or you send your profile, you face people. If you send it to somebody, it's an email ID, you know the name of the person, don't immediately go send a ticket because interviewers don't like that. Or send somebody a Facebook request saying that okay, I saw it before the interview, let me send you a Facebook request so that we will connect it. Don't. Yeah. When you go in for the interview, I will forget the Zoom things and all. Now things are coming back more in person. But even if it was Zoom, turn up at least 15-20 minutes before the interview. Getting late to an interview is a big no-no. People generally don't appreciate it. You can give all the excuses that you want. There was a traffic jam, metro work was happening, my bike broke down, I was stopped by a cop. Nobody's going to bother about that. For that particular one day, if possible, reach 1 hour before. Sit in the lobby. Sit in the lobby, try to read something. Don't ever reach late. And always go well dressed. This is something that doesn't need to be told, but in my experience, I've seen a lot of people who just walk in a t-shirt and jeans and not properly dressed for an interview. Some might think, well, this is a technical interview, what does it got to do with dressing? It's got a lot to do with the way you appear to a person. If I walk in through the door, what is the first impression that somebody gets about me? Not even started talking. What they get an impression is how you have presented yourself. That's very, very important. And when you're carrying something, ensure that you have a leather briefcase or a leather folder with you. Don't take kind of books that keep your profile inside that, or have a plastic cover wrapped up and take it and all that. Look properly attired. Some people wear a suit and go somewhere and tie it up. But a formal attire is very, very important. And when you go to the interview, greet everybody properly. Because you don't know who the person deciding people are. There are 3 people. The deciding person might be sitting in the corner. Some people mistake that the deciding person is the one who sits in the middle. No. There's somebody sitting in the corner. So greet everybody properly. And small talk, don't start. They will initiate the process, then only you start speaking. And when somebody asks a question, typically the question will come and tell me something about yourself. Keep it brief. You don't have to project yourself very much to say, I was a topper, I did this, I did. All of that is written in the resume. They can read it. You don't have to repeat it. Give a brief about what you were, where you were born, where you did your schooling, college, what was your work experience. There's something to tell about the family, any hobbies, that way. If somebody has a couple of questions, they will come back after that. When they get down to the technical stuff and they ask questions, you should be very clear on what is written in that data or that profile. If you goof up there, then there's a big question mark. I've seen some people who cut paste and send. The intent saying the interviewer cannot figure out. But one question they ask, and if you can't answer, it leaves a very bad impression saying that you don't know something which you have written in your profile. So be very clear about what's written there. And when you ask, explain very clearly. Now, please remember that no interview goes for more than half an hour. Half an hour is also just very rare cases that it goes. In that half an hour, they have to make a decision. You have to kind of give the impression that you are the person for the job. And both sides are The replies are very you should not be too elaborate. Not to elaborate is don't walk into the trap of knowing that you know a lot more. Because if the person sitting on the other side knows more than you, and if they ask a question which you are not able to answer, then you will be like figuring out how to get out of that trap. So keep it very short, keep it very simple. If they tell you to use the blackboard or the whiteboard to write something and explain, it's good. Some people have this habit of asking counter questions, or they will try to ask you something which you may have not encountered before. Or this is something that you will not have come across in your entire work history. That's really a question of seeing how well you respond to pressure, or how easily you get hassled. Keep your cool. If you don't know something, say, I don't know. I have not done this till now. I have not encountered till now in my entire work career. That's it. Because not everybody knows everything. Even the interviewer knows that. He or she will also not know everything on that subject. They are just asking a question to know whether you know about it. If you don't know, fair enough. I don't know. Why don't you know? At this point of time, I have not encountered that anywhere. So keep it that way, keep it very simple. As far as possible, if there are technical interviews, if they tell you to explain something, if there is a whiteboard or a sheet of paper, ask for one. And demonstrate on that. Some people are very good at writing and explaining. If you are one of the lot who can write and explain, please do that. Normally, some people might be very not very strong at communicating thoughts, but very good at writing. They can explain it on the board. No interviewer will say no. Just go explain it on the board so that you are very clear about it. Some may ask questions about how do you kind of work in a team, or really one instance of where you have a challenge. If you have some experience about it, talk about it. So don't leave things up. Don't say that I talked to certain person, but you are about to lose the deal, but one conversation and that person just signed it on behalf and all that. Those things can all easily be found out. If they would ask you which company was that, right? Then you will have to share the name of the company. Easily it could be found out. If such things get asked, speak again from your experiences. Like we say in Toastmasters, speeches that are spoken from your experiences are the most powerful. So speak from your experience as to why, what is that one area where you excelled or you went beyond your boundary? What is that one area where you had a crisis situation where you're supposed to handle? At certain levels, junior levels, you may not have come across that. And interviewers may not even ask that. But then you ask you like, how do you clear, how do you work with a team of people, which is Pan India or Bangalore? So give those answers. Very good. Only question that comes is, why do you want to leave your current job? Never say salary. That's the last thing that you should say. But I'm looking for a change, pay hike, that's why I'm quitting. Always say that I'm looking at expanding my horizon at this particular job. I don't see that the growth options are there. That's like leaving it pretty open. So that they also know that this person is looking for better opportunities. Or if you're changing location, if you're in Chennai, you want to go back to Bangalore. Somebody in Bangalore wants to go back to Mumbai, that's a valid reason. So I want to go back to my hometown, so where I grew up. So that's the reason I was quitting. Never say that's a very no kind of. And also research the company that you are going to work for. If you're going for an interview, it's better to always research what that organization is doing. What are they currently doing? What are the key areas? What areas have they got into? Well, that's very important. Is some interviews do ask you, what do you know about an organization? If you say, I don't know anything, that again is minus point against your name, because you are walking into an organization for employment without knowing what that organization is doing. Okay? So it's always better to research on that organization when you are going and ask them certain questions. If they have picked up a new business line, so can explain those about it, or how is your organization doing at current times. That's two things. One is they know that you have read about the organization. Second is they also know that you are well read. Because only people who read well can answer or ask all those questions. That's very, very important to research where you're going. And the third thing is the interviewer asks, do you have any questions for us? That time you can ask this. You can also ask, what is the area of the job or the type profile that I'm going to do? Because they would have appetite for something, and then you might be going into something else. So ask them about that. And also you can, if there's a technical interview, you can also ask them a lot of things about the way technical things are moving today. Or if it's a business kind of a role, you can ask them more about how the business doing and what do you think about certain changes that the government has brought into laws and the way the world is today moving towards growth or all of that. What happens is it becomes a two-way conversation when people talk to each other. They know, okay, this candidate is not only technically good, but they also know how to interact with others and how to speak with them. At the end of the day, what are they looking for? They're really looking for your compatibility with the role. Can you do that role job? In today's world, technical skills are not that great because today anything can be downloaded. Right? The moment you say code, most of the code is already there. It can only be downloaded. I'm talking about an IT scenario. Right? Even if you go to manufacturing, things have got into so much of automation that there is very little that needs to be kind of done now. Unless it is very, very high tech that we are talking about. Like a chip manufacturing or something like that, which is very, very high tech. Otherwise, most of the things are already there. So most people look at only whether you are technically competent, which is why I said when you write your script, ensure that you fit yourself to the role. And don't use one resume and spread it across. That's very wrong. You have to tailor your resume to every organization that you're applying to. Take one resume, giving it to every under a portal, and so that one size fits all is not going to work. It has to be tailored for every interview that you do. So most people look for that, what is the compatibility? More than that, they look for how can you gel with people around you. Third is they will look for, are you a person who is a team player, or can you kind of grow very quickly up the ladder, and how willing are you to take calculated risk? That how you come out when they ask you this question, say, what is the last time when you faced a crisis situation? Or if I were to send you today on some assignment, will you go immediately? So those are the things that people look for. And once the interview is over, say thank you to everybody. And when you get out of that interview room, exit the place as quickly as possible. Don't stand in the lobby or don't stand in the canteen and start giving feedback about how the interview went. I've been there when I was a smoker at one point of time. I still am a social smoker. So sometimes I used to do the interview and somebody would say, let's go to the smoking area. If you go to the smoking area, the candidate to interview would have been there. He would not have seen us. And he's really on the other side, how we tell you what the interviewer asked, what he felt about the interviewer, that also is there. So, one thing to be there, people can hear you, right? So please exit that place as quickly as possible and don't go out and immediately send a LinkedIn or Facebook page request to the interviewer. Those also if you get an interview letter, they call you into the organization, then obviously you will get connected over a period of time. If they don't call you, some company say, we are at this point of time, we don't think our skills match. Then tell us at some point of time you can send a LinkedIn request, but don't do it immediately. And when you walk out also, don't go and post everywhere saying, I went for this interview. This is what my experience is there. There are a lot of times where I see people go and post, don't do that. There's nothing that you're going to gain out of it. But exchange it with knowledge and strength, or don't go and put it on public sites, because immediately people can, if you are posting there, people are reading it. I'm sure the interviewers are also reading it. And they can easily make out who was the person who put those posts, because the kind of answers you put there, they will know what kind of questions they asked, right? So all of that things have to be kind of taken good care of when you work for the interview process. Because when I say script is yours, as long as that script is yours, everybody else is an actor and you are a director. So keep that very, very clear. The questions, what you want to get, hear the questions, you should put those questions on the on your resume. Okay. Nobody can ask outside of that. I've seen some people who go outside of that. That is for their own, I would say, interest. They just want to see if the candidate is getting ranked. That's what they will say. They wanted to see if that person is getting ranked. Or some people might try to just kind of fake something. So that is why they ask. Otherwise, nobody will go outside. One important thing to remember is you are getting called for the interview because they have already seen your resume. This is not a walk-in. They have already seen your resume. Walk-in is a different story. Okay. They've already seen your resume. So they have read through the resume. So they know that you are fitting that role. But they want to see your fitment on an overall scale. Walk-ins are different. Walk-ins, you just walk in there also, you have to be careful. When you give your profile, again, they are calling you because somebody is already shortlisted and saying, well, I can speak to this candidate. Walk-ins have got much more of a shorter, I would say, contact time because there it's not more than 10-15 minutes. In the 10-15 minutes also, whatever questions they want to ask you should be there on your profile. They will only ask you those questions, but the other things all stay valid. Presentability, the way you speak, the questions you ask, all that kind of stay very, very relevant. Post that, they will do all the background checks. That's why when I say your first part of why you should have your LinkedIn updated is very important. You are connected with people, and the people who are connected with, some of them are also known to the interviewer. Then it becomes much easy to do a background check. If I say I work for so and so organization, it is very easy for them to go back and check in that organization what you have done. If you have done certifications, it's very easy because then they know this person is qualified. Somebody who's a ongoing learner, he or she is not stopping with just one degree. They are going ahead and doing a lot of things. If you have done activities like Toastmasters, when they say you are on a presence of ongoing learning, public speaking, leadership, so those things are all that matters when somebody goes and looks at it. So it's not only about saying that I passed out from a good college or I'm a topper in university or I work with all the big companies, names, all that matter, but those are not the only criteria for getting a job. If that was the case, only the toppers in this country or in this world should be landing up jobs. The others should not be, right? So that's not the case. That was the case, only toppers from good schools or good colleges should be getting jobs. Others should not be. Here everybody is getting it. What matters is what competency you display, what self-confidence you display, and what you answer, and what leadership traits you show. But leadership traits doesn't mean that you are somebody who's led a team. If you're a 25-year-old person, it's very unlikely that you would have led a team at work. Okay? But if you are a 45-year-old plus, you would have led a team of people at work. For a 25-year-old person who was say, I led a team of 30 people, maybe you would have led a team in school or college. Right? True, but that's also part of leadership, but not at work. You have to be, that's why that your script should be very, very clear what is put on your resume. Because that is what makes or breaks. And everybody is reading from that script. So all of others are only actors. So as a director of your script, as a director of your destiny, it's up to you to kind of say what is the movie that I want people to see, what is the movie that I want people to kind of like. And as a director, this is what you should also have to say, I want to direct a much bigger movie on a much higher scale that is working for the organization where you are. These are two very, very simple things. If you kind of take this up, you will be on the path to success. And one more thing, which closing I would say is a lot of times when people go for the interview, they kind of mistake to say that everything is very, very technical. I spoke on it earlier also. But always ensure that when you're explaining something, you have to explain a language which people understand. Because on the interview panel, maybe one person is technical, two people are not. Okay? When you're explaining something, explain in a way where everybody can understand it. If there's a technical question specifically ask directly only to the person who's technical. Which is why it's very important that when you go for an interview, you're introducing yourself, most of the time the panel will also introduce themselves. That way you can gauge that who's the technical person who's the HR person. And there might be somebody who's sitting there, who might be a project team person, just to see whether at senior levels, you would have a VP level people and all sitting, but there the discussion is much more different. There again, it's more technical when it comes to work, but they look at a lot of other things also. It's very clear that understand your audience very well before you start answering them. All of this is taken care of, I would say, you are on the path to success. Does all of this come automatically? No, it doesn't. A lot of it comes only through practice. If I go for a first interview, maybe I will not play. The second one I have learned from what I have done, so I go and practice it. But a lot of it you can practice in a forum like Toastmasters. When you do evaluation, when you go as a tactic player, you're just sitting in the audience and listening. A lot of time, how to listen, how to give answers, how not to get rapid under pressure. A lot of things that we learn here. Just implementing what we have learned here in real life. All the very best to all of you. And I hope you have a has great sense. And a lot of you, again, the message comes only to practice. And practice is what makes it better. I do not use the word perfect, I just what makes it better as we go along. Okay.
A lot of takeaways from our education session, Toastmasters Satish sir. So I would like to congratulate. And it's time to hand over the stage to our Toastmasters table topic master, distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria sir, the co-founder of Chennai Toastmasters Club and part district automatic parliamentarian.
And esteemed guests, good evening. Or impromptu external speakers. This is very unique for Toastmasters. These want us to come here and stand up for some time. You can say something fine. You don't say silent better. That's what I'm saying. All of us trained that way. I usually say this to a driving school. When you go there, if somebody is learning, the person sitting next to you is learning better. Okay, you don't say, but you are going to sit the next one now. That's how I take it that way. So I will have few topics, and before that, let me tell you some of the rules. This is like a game. So game has a rule. Every game has a rule. So 1 minute, I will read out the question or the topic you have to come here, and you have to wait for minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, and you will be given 30 seconds to break them also. So if you don't respect them 2 minutes and 30 seconds, that's why we have servant dance here. You'll carry over. Okay, with that, let me tell you a few topics. First, for our Toastmasters. Option is you can. I will read out the topic. To err is human, to forgive is not a company policy. To err is human, to forgive is not a company policy. Any Toastmasters? Yeah? Oh, sorry. Okay, if no one is there, Sharath will come and give us. You got to talk. To err is human, to forgive is not company policy. To forgive is not company policy.
Thank you, TT Master. I understand the first half of the topic. To err is human. Human are not human. Yeah, to err is human. And to forgive is not a company policy. I forgive you sir, because you gave me topic which I didn't understand, but still I forgive you, TT Master. To err is human. Is there anyone here who says, I don't make mistake? No. What I understood so far from my life is making mistakes is not a mistake. Making the same mistake the next time is a mistake. I have done a lot of mistakes in my life. Just to tell, now I'm not getting anything to tell, but I've done silly mistakes, a lot of things. And then what I done after hearing this saying that which I said, I put a separate note called mistake. And I note all the mistakes. When I do some mistake, it may be hurting someone. It may be something that we don't know, but after that we'll realize that we done that mistake. I came to my room and I will note down. Still, I have as of now I started it 6 months back, and 4-5 pages only completed. And I note down that I have done this mistake. Never next time I'll never repeat. And next time, sure, this will happen. Life will give you the same scenario with different person, and now you will know I done that mistake previously. Now I will not, and that's the reality the life teaches. So, my dear Toastmasters friends, I here request you to make mistake, but not to make the same mistake next time, because to err is human, and to repeat that is not human. Thank you.
The next topic. Alcohol doesn't solve any problem. For that matter, neither does milk. Alcohol doesn't solve any problem. For that matter, neither does milk. Any Toastmasters? Toastmasters or guests? Welcome. If no one, come on. Alcohol, some people get, or some people they get a kick only when you say alcohol.
Thank you. Thank you, Master. Wonderful topic. Alcohol never solves the problem because it intoxicates you. It just stops the thought process, ideas, and probably stop the solution. It not solves the problem. 15 years ago, I used to drink. I stopped the alcohol 15 years ago. By experientially, I can say. So that is not a solution. And milk also not solves the problem. Again, for me personally, milk create problem because this adulterated milk we normally drink in Chennai. I have many issues related to cold, cough. So whenever I have either milk or anything related with milk, coffee, tea. So I used to have problem whenever I'm controlling the intake of milk. I'm just avoiding this cold and cough. So my advice and request to you, whoever consumes this alcohol and equally poor quality adulterated milk, you stop both, then you will not be having any problem. Thank you, Master.
Next one. The trouble with being punctual is that no one is there to appreciate. The trouble with being punctual is that no one is there to appreciate it. Not even Sadish. Welcome. Any takers? I'll have to call somebody. Hey, Sadish, why don't you do this?
Trouble with being punctual is that no one is there to appreciate it. The trouble with being punctual is that there is no one there to appreciate it. Is true? Once you remember Toastmasters district conference. Even at 7 a.m. in the morning, it was a district council meeting. 6:45 there was nobody. Come to the wrong place. You know, the Indians outside there. So I went up and said that yes, everything was safe. Meeting is supposed to start at noon. Suddenly somebody comes and opens the door and he asked me, why are you so early? I said, you only took 7 o'clock. He said, well, that was only a Saturday time. Because you know people will get up late. That's the reason it is actually only 8 o'clock. So there are a lot of people. Because everybody is only going to come at 9, they will only come at 9. Almost at 7 o'clock function, there was nobody there. So that's one of the things that people don't appreciate when you are. The second one was again, the good old Indian ladies always says that the train will be there. And you find that the train is now half an hour late. Because we don't want to late. Master station master said, if you are so late, you can actually publish the timetable. He said, timetable is only suggested. Based on answers. Obviously, is suggested. So you are going to indicate that time. But unfortunately, that punctuality doesn't work in the way we operate. So to understand sometimes turning off of time, you end up being on the wrong side, you are the only person there. It gives a good feeling to say, I don't have time. But you will have to waste a lot of time waiting for the others to join. Everybody is before you go in for a meeting or before you are going to kind of meet somebody or take a train, first check, double check, triple check before you land up there. This will be the only person staring at the wall or staring at the looking at the railway lines, waiting for the train to appear or in the case of a meeting, waiting for people to turn up. Thank you. All
Next is going to be a very simple one. Any takers, I'll read out the topic. The road to success is always under construction. The road to success is always under construction. Very simple. I think I request one of the, I'm not insisting, but I'm requesting some of the guests to come up and give a speech. Yeah, please, welcome, sir. Ratna Sabhavati. The road to success is always under construction.
Very relevant. This is my second time I'm coming to India, I guess. Road to success is always under construction. This is a common given to me. We want to succeed, but how to take various paths to find that there are always impediments which you have to solve. If you go to this path, you find that okay, this is not what you wanted, then you take diversion, like in movie, take diversion. This need not be the case if you have a very clear path. So many times people don't know what is the goal. So they, especially I think youngsters, when we ask them what do you want to be or what you want to do, the answer is not very clear. So they say that I want to do this, I want to do that. They would have done mechanical engineering, but they want to do something in computer science, or they would have done computer science, but they want to do some business and all. So because of this clarity is not there, these type of things can happen. So if you plan very well in your life, then this impediment can be overcome and you can go in the right direction as per your wish. Thank you.
Thank you. Another very simple one. It's a political philosophy. Okay. End justifies the means. End justifies the means. If no takers, Nina will. End justifies the means.
Toastmasters and the end justifies the means. Everything the crier decided he needed a speaker. He's like, okay, everyone volunteer, nobody volunteer. Okay, I mean, you volunteer, you volunteer. I have a topic. What topic? Forget. Come on, you come to say. So that's why everyone comes to that's his table topic. So definitely, we have to think of what we're doing and how we're actually going to achieve it. One way is, of course, it's a topic that changes now. The road to success is always under construction. So I think speakers. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But most of the time, and let me quote Abraham Zakmai again. None of us went to school. You were not So what happens? We go to school, we go to our parents have decided, our peers have decided, everyone else has decided how what we are going to do with our lives. We have to decide, we're going on the straight path. I can decide, no, I will go on my path. Even if it against my parents. Rohit said, no, I'm going to on that path as it's been prescribed for my parents. Let me see what's going to happen. We have decided to be going aimlessly around. Let me see what I'm going to do. So each one of us makes a different decision. We reach that point in life. See, there is not going to be a permanent success. It is always a series of milestones. How many can we succeed? How many can we separate? How many have the markers that society has? Have we got money? Have we got children? Have we got, one house? It's a three-bedroom house, four-wheeler car, vehicle, salary. If those are the stuff that you want, aim for what you want, think about it. That's the means you have taken.
Thank you. I enjoyed being your tabletop master because no one asked me to give a speech. Thank you all.
Before handing the stage to general evaluator, we have issued the ballot sheets to all. So you can vote among the best speaker among Toastmaster Rohit, Sankari, Vishal, and Leander, and best evaluator. Yes, timer will read out the qualified speakers and qualified evaluators' name at the later part of the meeting. So you can vote among them. And for the best tag player, the timer, accounter, and grammarian. And the best role player goes best role player amongst Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, and Table Topic Master. So we can explain it little later, and I will hand over the stage to our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveen. And now it's time for the evaluations of the speeches. So we have Toastmaster Rekha evaluating Toastmaster Rohit's speech. So I request Toastmaster Rekha to come forward and present her evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Can we all give a big hand for his first speech? So his title was, if you are going through hell, keep going. I would like to start to say, you are a diamond, precious and rare, having undergone pressure in your life. And so your speech is an icebreaker speech. Let me share what I love the most as an audience and what are the areas you can focus on. So to start with, you are a confident speaker, kudos on that, and you have a very good command over your English language. Few of the words and the phrases you used, which I love the most, topsy-turvy, gas, liquid, devastated, self-realization. So these were few of the words I take away from your speech. And I would say, when we are on social media or in person, we are happy to share our success, right? We are always blow our horn. And if you open social media, we can see, even including me, I just post only whatever successes I have done. But I really appreciate you that you having confidence and courage, you have listed your failures, right? And those failures have made you the diamond to face or to come up with more successes. I really appreciate you on that. So, having said what I love the most in your speech, what could be made better in your speech? If you would have read your project objective, the objective is to introduce yourself. Myself as an audience, as a stranger to you, did I know who are you? So if you ask me, I would say, partially I did know who is Rohit, and partially I would say I did not know who was Rohit. So I know that you are a person of great persistent confidence. You underwent so many challenges in your life, and you have come out successfully, and you have your own challenges going on. But if you ask me, about your family, about your native, what are your your likes. You spoke about jobs. You just said jobs, but I don't know what type of job you were in. Like what education you are, what is your passion, what is your aspiration, what is your future goals. If you'd have given that, then I would have known Rohit a better, as a much more in a better way. And then your rate of speech was very fast. You gave pauses which helped to understand your speech, but the rate of speech was very fast, whereas if I'm looking at a Bollywood movie or Hollywood movie and I was focusing what he is telling. So instead of that, if you can reduce, for icebreaker it is okay. You are understanding your speech positives and negatives, but it will help you to become a better speaker. And yeah, this is about my evaluation. As to conclude, I would say you are a confident speaker. Your command over English is very good. You are a very courageous and a confident person. The only thing is, if you can understand the objective and go with the objective, you will be a great speaker. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Toastmaster Shruti, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. So coming back, now we have Toastmaster Sankari's evaluation. To evaluate Toastmaster Sankari's speech, we have Toastmaster Sarath evaluating her speech. I request Toastmaster Sarath to come forward and present his evaluation. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So, Toastmasters and guests, good evening once again. I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Sankari's speech. Toastmaster Sankari, first I'm going to give my commendation and then recommendation. I have 3 C's in my commendation. The first C is the creativity. Usually, icebreaker speech is meant to introduce ourselves. Right? When I was icebreaker, I remember I told like, I belong to Chennai, my parents is so and so, I like this. It was very straightforward. But today I witnessed an icebreaker who spoke like 3 segments that you love. First, your food, and then your family, and then you move on to profession. And by this, I could able to understand that you love food so much. You are the only daughter in your family, and you have a dog in your family as a member, and you love psychology. A lot of details you share, not in a conventional way, it's a creative way. And that's one thing which I love the most. Kudos to you. Second C is the conversation style. Right from when the moment you explain about the uncle conversation, right, when you're a 3-year-old child, and also the analogy that you told about Bahubali movie and that relation with psychology and MBBS, it was awesome. I love the second part. And third part is the clarity and the comfort level you had. I'm not sure it's the first speech that you're going speaking with the public audience, because you're so clear in your speaking and you're so comfort, and always we can see the smile that you have, and your accent. I feel your accent is a strength. We can hear your voice as long as time passes. Your voice is so clear, and it was so good. And this is third C. And just as an evaluator, it's my duty to give recommendations also. For icebreaker, this kind of recommendation is not needed, but still I'm just giving to challenge yourself. The passes. So 2 passes I noticed. The first pass is the moment when you open your speech, what our mentor usually say, when we open the speech, we should hold the stage. So we should breathe for some 5 seconds and then we should start. I noticed you started a little fast. The moment when GMOD introduced, you started with the conversation. That could be avoided. And second is when you ask questions, like how many of you watched Bahubali movie? We have to let's wait for some 3 seconds if someone is answering. Because when someone lifts their hands, when we rush, there is no connection. So that's the small minor mistake. Not mistakes, suggestions, which I noticed. And to summarize, it was a creative speech. You had a conversation style I love, and you had a clear voice and clarity in your speech. Only thing the passes which you have, which you can add, it would be more great. Love to hear your future speeches in a stadium. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarath, for your evaluation. Indeed, her speech was very creative and beautifully presented. And moving on, we have Toastmaster Vishal's evaluation to Toastmasters Vishal's evaluation. To evaluate Toastmaster Vishal, we have Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. So I request Lakshmi Narayana to come forward and present his evaluation.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Shruti. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and a very special mention to the target speaker, Vishal Haridas, for an awesome speech. My heart is pumping right now, and that's how you started your speech. But throughout your speech, you were looking confident, your words are very clear, and the speech was well organized with a proper begin, body, and end. You structured your speech very well from your first standard up to your high school. Okay, so until your speech, I know you as a new Toastmaster. I know as a guest as a Toastmaster. But from this icebreaker speech, I got to know more about you as who is Vishal, and your interest in dance. You mentioned you are interested in folk, traditional, even modern dance as well, and your interest in drama as well. And especially when you explained your childhood and interest in participating in extracurricular activities, I could see your enthusiasm enacted very well. I mean, you are trying to bring back your childhood energy into the current stage. And I believe that you're still more enthusiastic in doing those things. That's why I can feel that energy in your speech. And also, you had humor sprinkled throughout your speech. I like the way you enacted that Kanaka Pillai always giving the wrong answer, like 3 + 4 = 10. And also the Veerapandi Kattabomman, where your cardboard sword broke and you have been attacked by a plastic sword in which you got real injuries and bruises. You were able to, what I understand is you were able to put comedy over tragedy. You had an excellent humor sense and your speech was never boring. You had a good smile and appropriate expression throughout your speech. And also, I came to know that you are preparing and delivering a speech about that how the Mahatma Gandhi speech during his school days, and that proves that you are not new to prepare speech as well. Having said all good about your speech, I just want to give a few suggestions, just a couple of suggestions, I should say. One first thing is you could have introduced more about your family, the place you lived, and the current life you're living, because so that we can get more connection with you and know about you in the present time. And also, you've been very enthusiastic throughout your speech. You are very energetic and enthusiastic throughout your speech, where you're going out of the flow of the prepared speech. So my suggestion is to please prepare and rehearse your speech so that you can stay within the time limit and convey an impactful message within the time limit. Because at one point you mentioned that you chose boring speech when you didn't have a choice between drama or dance. But I'm sure you make this speech more interesting. Maybe they're not, I don't know about that time, but now you have given an excellent and interesting speech. And overall, you are a confident speaker with a very organized speech. I suggest you to spend more time on rehearsal and practice. And you have a long way to go. Wishing you all the best and wish to hear more speeches from you. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, for your evaluation. And moving forward, we have distinguished Toastmaster Nina John, ma'am, to evaluate Toastmaster Leander's speech. I request distinguished Toastmaster Nina to come forward and present her evaluation. Over to you, Nina.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And where is Leander? Oh, okay. Under my nose. Okay. So what I really loved about Leander's speech was Finding My Purpose. That was the title. And he ended by telling us about how he had found his purpose.
I think most of us, when we're writing speeches, we get all carried away by the speech and we put in details and we put in stories, and the title is somewhere and the ending is somewhere. But this was a very beautiful way in which he said, this is what I wanted to talk about how I found my purpose and what is my purpose, to add value to society. So that was really brilliantly done. The incident about the sports day was brilliant. Everyone really appreciated the humor, and I'm sure everyone agreed. I mean, identified with you standing there with your knees knocking and then paper swimming in front of you, and those 500 students staring at you. So a little voice modulation in places like that would add to the drama. And then also, if you have a story, kind of complete it and say, and again, the second part of the humor. I went there the next day thinking everyone is going to make fun of me. And guess what? Nobody cared. So it's both a climax and an anticlimax. So that again, with a little pause and the way you deliver it to the audience makes a lot of difference. So sense of humor that you can use, kind of elevate a little bit, fluent in the language. So again, make that part of your thing. Overall, voice, vocabulary, all of these things, you have all the potential. So just work on each of these one by one, and you'll find that as you're working on them, the structuring of the speech. So now you've got your story of the sports thing, you have the COVID thing where you've started reading, you've achieved the point about self-realization, that's another pivot point. So now you're starting to read, which is a major event in a lot of people's lives. You started assimilating what you're reading, and you started applying what you're reading. So now, how did that actually work? So I'm glad you gave all those instances of manifestation and how it worked. A little more details about, I had a job. Okay, I had a job. What was it? I mean, were you a hairdresser? Were you a software engineer? Were you a chef? What was your job? And when you say you moved into another job, was that a different industry? Was that just a higher level position for the same thing? Did you have to apply the same skills and competencies? Give us more details. We all like to know when we have a icebreaker, something about your background. So which was that school which had those 2,500 students? Is it in Chennai? Is it in Bangalore? Is it in Timbuktu? Tell us. What's your family like? You have a brother, sister, parents, dogs, cats, parrots? Tell us. We like to know. So in summary, you have all the potential for a great speaker. You need to structure a little bit more. You need to have your voice modulation a little more under control, so to speak. But overall, I'm really looking forward and looking forward to your speeches in the future. Thank you, Madam Shruti.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Neena ma'am, and all. I congratulate each and every speaker today for giving their icebreaker, and kudos to you all. And I hope you all take those recommendations and implement from your next speeches. And now we move on to evaluation of the tag team. So I request Toastmaster Manoj to come forward and present his report on the timer.
Once again, good evening, everyone. I insisted everyone to follow that formula. And I'm glad when you did it. So among the speakers, the first two speakers are qualified. Rohit have spent 5 minutes 25 seconds on a speech, and Shankari have spent 4 minutes 45 seconds. And education session also has been qualified within the stipulated time. And among the table topics, all the 5 speakers were qualified. And the evaluation, all the 4 speakers have been qualified. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj, for presenting your report. I request Toastmaster Palani sir to come forward and present his R-counter report and also his grammarian report.
Evening all. Yes. The R-counter report. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Naveen used so 3+ times. General evaluator Shudri used so one time. Speaker Rohit, first speaker one pass and one off, otherwise is flawless. Speaker to Shankari used off one time and no the word repeated 2 times. Vishal, the third speaker, or 3 plus times, pause 1 time, okay 3 plus times, and 3 plus times. Speaker 4, Leander, he used like 3 plus times, 3 plus times, so 3 plus times, actually 3 plus times. In table topic, guest Ratna Sabhabadi used this repeatedly, repeatedly, so 2 times. Evaluator Toastmaster Rekha used 1 time or 1 time. Evaluator Sharath used so 1 time or 3 times. Evaluator Lakshminarayana used or 3 plus times. Evaluator Distinguished Toastmaster Neena ma'am used so 1 time. So this is the all-counter report. Now the grammarian report. Word of the day was used by speaker Rohit, Distinguished Toastmaster Abraham, Distinguished Toastmaster Neena ma'am, as well as Toastmaster Manoj. And as a speaker, Toastmaster Rohit was using very good phrases like only brave and powerful are respected. Toastmaster Shankari used dumbstruck. Toastmaster Leander used the word gibberish and manifestation repeatedly. Guest Ratna Sabhabadi during his table topic used the word impediments. And Toastmaster Satish, from him I understood this suggested time and actual time today. So this is a nice thing to know. So this is my report. And thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palanisamy. And now we come to the end of the evaluation part with my evaluation. The meeting went in a more flawless way than compared previously. And there are very few recommendations that I would like to give is that maybe it's the network or from my part, or I do not actually know how the network is in Chennai, but I was able to find a little bit glitches here and there. The voices weren't in, so we could improve on that. And there is one more thing I would like to suggest is that if we could place the computers somewhere in a position where we could have wider coverage of the place, it would be better so that we could see everyone. Those are my suggestions. And I also request new members to come forward and give their icebreaker speech. Since we declared this as an icebreaker marathon, we had 4 speeches, but to conduct a marathon, we need at least 6. So I request new members to come forward and present their speeches. That's the part of my evaluation, and I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Naveen, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Shruti. And for the ballots, best qualified speakers are Toastmaster Rohit and Toastmaster Sankari. And for the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Sarath, Toastmaster Palanisamy, Toastmaster Salisman, guest Ratna Sabhabadi, and distinguished Toastmaster Neena. The evaluators, Toastmaster Rekha, Toastmaster Sarath, Toastmaster Lakshminarayana, and distinguished Toastmaster Neena. So we can vote among them and please hand over the ballots to Toastmaster Palnisan. Let's get the guest feedback. So can you please share the feedback? Yeah, can talk.
Good evening once again, everybody. As I told that this is the second time coming to this club as a guest. Actually, like I explained earlier, time, I joined Toastmasters for about 3 4 months in 2019. But after COVID came, I just. But the reason for my joining was that I was looking for some sort of communication thing for my daughter. I was I was very trying to push her to join, but as I told, I joined the Toastmasters, but still here for guys. Since I'm doing the masters abroad. But I like this. I was just very interesting that these type of clubs are not there when I was there. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Bhupati. I'm working for a government concern. I have come as a guest today only to observe what's happening in Chennai Toastmasters Club. I've been looking for the past 1 year how to develop my communication skills. I know I'm lacking. I have stage fear. I was looking various avenues how to develop myself. Again, if I have to reach the top level, definitely I should know how to present myself in the interview. So this is the only reason I would come here. Probably I would like to be a member.
Myself, I just graduated from just did my completed my MBA and came here to Chennai a couple of weeks ago. And on the communication aspect, I'm a bit confident when I'm speaking with one on one, but speak in front of people. Even now, to be honest, as one of the icebreaker session person told, my heart is like pumping extremely. So absolutely lovely to see the structure. How this is first time I'm coming to Toastmaster. Have heard about it quite a bit earlier, but absolutely lovely to see how within 2 hours we are able to give opportunities to everyone, as well as there are structured speeches as well, and a lovely session, and able to a person who wishes to come forward prepared and be able to the things which you are able to explain here definitely will be able to will be helpful in the corporate as well as the personal life. Maybe speaking with the daughters, even little daughters, communicating with them properly, as most of the parents I do see now that they're trying to speak in English to their children for some reason. So absolutely lovely to see how it's structured, and I'll be a member when.
My name is Kevin Matthew. So I joined the session here. So this is my first Toastmaster session. I just want to observe how this Toastmaster club is doing it all. So I have heard quite a bit of it. So I recently completed my MBA. So now I'm working as a finance professional. So I hope to be member soon. I just want to improve my communication skills, everything. I'm just working on it.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Kangesh. This is the first time I'm experiencing a Toastmaster session actually. So I came to know a lot. I came to know a lot about this, and I came to know what exactly happens in a Toastmaster session. So I'm like more interested towards it right now. So I'm looking forward to join it.
Surya, I'm working as a software developer in Zoho. This is the first time I have come to Toastmaster Club. I the Satish Kumar speech very much. Looking forward to come in future. Thank you. Good evening, Varana. I can actually resonate to, I mean, like, in college days, I always, used to think about Toastmasters because even in my college, there was Toastmasters club. But I never had an experience to go and, understand how it works. But now I thought maybe it's time for me to, unlearn all the public speaking, unlearn public speaking, whatever it's public speaking, uh, skills, sorry, yeah. Public speaking skills. So I'm looking forward to learn and probably I will become a member.
Myself is Deepak. I'm complete diploma. Already this is the second week. And really nervous communicating further. So many struggles for this my words. What's problem mean? So many English words nearest to Tamil word cannot understand that purpose only. My brother is suggesting this Toastmasters, but another communication center going to school speeding that basically reading writing that's concept only. So only course only completed. Betterly not I talk fluently talking or another person too easily communicating. I cannot confident, but here is directly one person to another person. So that our directly told time is very confident. So step by step, I will be improving on chance this place. That's this.
Yes, Preeti, would you like to share?
Hello, sir. Good evening, all. I'm Preeti. I'm just here to witness what are the things happening in the Toastmaster Club. So I'm really happy to be a part of this session. Really, things are very, what is it, giving confidence to others also. Even um, people like me, that is, I love dancing. I can dance in front of the people, in front of more, or that is in front of more people. But if I want to speak um, in front of the people, just I struggle. So here, after witnessing this session, my confidence level is actually built up. So hope for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, guest speaker.
Now it's time to congratulate our icebreaker speakers. So I'm going to open our Toastmaster and Rohit. This I don't know they have standing commission for icebreaker speakers. This currently sign account and Romanian goes to what Romanian account and
This table topic speaking goes to Toastmasters studies. And the best role player goes to our table topic master, distinguished Toastmaster. The best evaluator goes to our distinguished Toastmaster, Leena Jamma. And the best speaker goes to Toastmaster Sankari. And for the benefit of the guest, you are collecting the nominal fee of rupees 200 per member. And if you are a student, you can pay 150 rupees to our Vice President membership, Toastmaster Palanisamy sir. You can contact him for further details about the Toastmasters and program details. Okay. And with this, we officially came to the end of 873 meeting, and I declare 873 closed. And we will meet next week, same again in 4 to 6 p.m. Let's have a group photo and we will meet in the cafeteria to discuss. You